Guys, we have made some serious progress. I just did a harvest right before this video, and now we have more than 3 farms left over. Yeah, we have extra seeds too. So we have extra seeds and extra wheat, and now all these farms are filled. And the sugarcane, I also got a ton of sugarcane, but that's not as important. But yeah, so I think that's pretty good for just for the second episode. But you know what else we have? Everything for the iron farm. So today we're going to be doing the iron farm, and I'm also going to cut down a few more trees and start working on our house. But yeah, let's get on with that iron farm. Alright, I'm going to get started with this iron farm by putting down these chests at the bottom here. This is another one of the videos I made, so be sure you go and check that out after you're done watching this video. But I made a video on how to make this iron farm that I'm going to make. I am going to make it slightly different, like without glass. I'm going to use this, I'm going to use cobblestone instead. But yeah, and in between episodes I've been doing a good amount of mining, and I finally got enough iron to make these hoppers. I think it was 25 iron or something like that. I think that sounds just about right, but I think I got like half a stack or so. So it took only a little bit of time for that to happen. But yeah, so I'm just gonna start by building this tube around here. Let me actually get out my pickaxe here. But yeah, so this should be a pretty simple farm. The hardest part is probably gonna be the villagers, getting the villagers in here. But I feel like I could probably do that. I could get the villagers in pretty simply. It's just the matter of finding the villagers. Actually, I should probably sleep before I do anything. But yeah, I haven't found a village yet, and that would be really why can't I see that? Oh, I guess it's not night. So I haven't actually found a village yet, but that would be really useful. I don't really want to use one of those village finder apps either, because I feel like that's kind of cheating, and I don't really want to, you know, be cheating on these episodes. So I'd rather just look for one myself. But I actually think I might need one more sign, but I mean, yeah, no, I think I can probably sleep now. But yeah, so finding a village is probably gonna be the hardest part of this whole iron farm, not the actual getting the villagers up there, because I could just get them on a minecart or get them on a boat. I'd probably do a boat instead, because I wouldn't really want to spend a ton of money on a ton of iron on a minecart if I don't really have to. So I feel like that's definitely going to be the hardest part, but it'll definitely be worth it also, because I'll have pretty much an infinite supply of iron, and that's definitely what I need as a beginner, is that iron, because it's a really key element to starting a world. I actually forgot to count how many blocks this is. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I can go up one more. So yeah, it is quite a task to make this to get those villagers, but I feel like if I can just like literally just find a village, I can make a villager breeder somewhere around here, seeing as I got that wheat farm, and if I go to that village I'll probably find some carrots and potatoes while I'm there. So I feel like it'll be pretty easy to just get 1 or 2 villagers over, and then just basically have an infinite supply of villagers. But so yeah, I won't really bore you with the rest of the stuff. I mean, I'll probably do a time lapse or something of me doing this. But yeah, basically I just have to make this big platform, and I'm not really gonna show all that to you. So yeah, I'll probably do a time lapse of this part, and then I'll see you when I'm done. Alright, I just finished the first layer of this farm, and I put all the doors in. There's 56 doors, there's 7 on each side. I do still have to put the water in, but this is some pretty good progress. This took me about I guess 15 minutes or so. I did have to go back down and craft some more sides, and I also did realize that, well, now there's not going to be a time lapse because I accidentally was not recording, and the video quality also cut out like right around the middle when I was doing it anyway. So even if I was recording, you wouldn't have been able to really see anything. But yeah, I do have to head back down because it's becoming night. But I almost had a little disaster when I was up here earlier. I forgot that I had fire spreads turned on. I don't know why. I guess that was just a like a default setting that I just forgot to turn off. But I had it turned on, and I put the lava in, and the whole thing started catching on fire, and I got so scared I didn't know what to do. But I did fix it. It only caught a few things before I got it into the menu fast enough to turn it off. But yeah, it was still a little shock to see that it wasn't that fire spreads was on. I just didn't really expect it, but nothing really happened, so everything's still there and nothing's broken. But yeah, I just gotta make sure that next time whenever I make a world. And but yeah, I think I should probably be done this within 15 minutes or so. I mean, for you guys on YouTube, it'll be probably like a couple seconds from now, but yeah, I just have to do the second layer. It's pretty much the same, except there's none of these walls, so it'll be a lot easier. And but I'll do the water on camera just to show you how to do it. But remember, I did make a video about this on my channel, so if you check that out, you gotta see exactly how to make it with like a little bit more specific instructions, and just you'll be able to see me doing it pretty much the whole time. And I also do show you how to do the water in that, but I figured I'll just show you again, just so that if you thought anything was different in survival, just show you how it all works. And then I'm gonna do at least one villager on camera, but if it takes a real long time and I can't find a village or something, I'll probably just do them all off camera, or not all off camera, but I'll definitely do one on camera. But I feel like the other, I guess I can make a breeder. If I make a breeder, I will I'll do that all on camera and bring all the villagers up on camera. But if there's a village close by, then I don't need to make a breeder, and I'll probably just show me bringing over just one villager, and then I'll bring the rest up without you guys seeing it. But yeah, so this should be done within, for me, probably 15 minutes, but for you guys, I'll see you guys in a couple seconds. Alright guys, I finally found a village. It probably took me close to an hour and a half of searching before I finally went to my last resort. It's kind of embarrassing to say, but I did have to eventually use a website just to find where this village was. It's closest one to my base, and it's like almost 1,000 blocks away. Luckily, most of it is ocean, so I was using a boat to get here. But yeah, it was still pretty frustrating getting here. And as far as I can tell, there's not a lot of good loot in this place, so that's also not really worth it. But there are obviously a bunch of villagers. I've been gathering up some crops, looking around, trying to figure out what the villagers are, if they're worth trading with. And I really do want to find a farmer, but I think I'll just have to take a couple of these villagers back and set up a breeder. So that was kind of an unplanned part of today's video, but you will get to see me make that. But yeah, so right now what I'm going to do is I have some buckets on me, and I'm just basically going to set up a little water path going from here down to the ocean, and then I'll get them back, and then I'll fill up my buckets again, and hopefully I can get them back safe and sound, and you won't have to worry about any issues with the farmers. And also I'll be able to set up a breeder at home, and it won't take too much time. But yeah, I'll come back to you guys when I have a sufficient way to get them home, and when I have that little river set up to get them to the ocean. Alright guys, as you can see, I made this little path here. It didn't take too long. It was pretty easy. Took me a couple minutes to figure out the coordinates and how to get it on the good level. But yeah, so there's no water here just because it's on the same level as the village. But yeah, I can just bring the village down here bring the villager in a boat down here on land, and then the water will be faster, and I can just basically take them all the way down to the ocean. and from there I can just take them all the way back to my base. I'm gonna have to leave them in the water at my base for a little bit though, because I didn't make that yet. I probably should have done that first, but I didn't do that yet, so I'll just have to leave them in the boat for a little bit, but it probably won't be too much of a problem. I also got a bunch of stuff from this village, some pretty useful stuff. But yeah, I'll get back to you when I get them back to our base. Alright guys, sorry I didn't get on camera me building this little villager beater here. It's pretty simple though, so you didn't really miss much. It's just some doors with some birch wood on top of them and some fences. But the reason I didn't get it was because I panicked when I accidentally let the villagers free, and they ran over here and they were harvesting some of my wheat. But they eventually both made their way over here, so I just trapped them in there with some fences. And then I started building up this little, it's pretty much what officiates the village, is the doors and the sky access and the farm in here. And I gave them some carrots and potatoes, and that's also why I made this farm, so I could keep doing that. I give them some food so that they can breed up. But when they do, I'm gonna bring the baby villagers up into the iron farm, and let them pretty much just let them grow up in there. I'm not gonna wait for them to grow up if it's gonna take a long time. But for the rest of this episode, I'm gonna be doing this pumpkin and melon farm. That'll be pretty quick, so that won't take up a lot of time. But then I'm gonna discuss our house, or the actual house instead of this hut, which I'll probably just use as like a little functioning mine. But I'll probably make a house. I'm kind of stuck on where to put it. I'm thinking maybe I put it like right in front of this mine here, make it like a little L shape maybe, or put it up there somewhere, or maybe make like a little cliffside house. But for now, I think I'm just gonna be doing this farm for a little bit, and then I'll get back to you when I'm done that. Alright guys, I finished up this pumpkin and melon farm. This is just an optimized farm so that the pumpkins and melons have as much room as possible to grow. These are just pumpkin seeds in a diagonal right here, and then melon, and then pumpkin, and melon, and pumpkin. And then, so they just alternate in diagonals. And this gives the seed 3 places to grow. Well, actually, in most places it's 4. So it can grow there, 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 and there. And unless every other one around it grows, that means it pretty much has infinite spawning space. Well, not infinite, obviously, but it has a decent amount of spawning space. So if that guy's if there's a melon there and there, he still has 2 spaces to spawn. So it's not like the farms where there's only 1 spot to farm. There's a way more chance of getting a ton of melons and pumpkins here. Now, obviously, there are farms that are like way more advanced where they're automatic, but I'm just not far enough in the game yet to have a farm like that. So that should be sufficient for now. But now I kind of want to get talking about the house. So I'm wondering if I should have. See, there's a lot of things that I'm wondering about. I'm wondering where to put it, for one. Like what the design should be. Should it be giant, or should it just be like a small house that doesn't take too long to work on? Like, I'm thinking if I should make it like a big project where it's like, I mean, it is my base, so I guess I should make it a pretty big project where it's like, just like just a big house overall, where with like lots of floors. It doesn't have to be like crazy wide or anything, but I'm thinking I really do like the idea of like a cliffside house. It would be tough to make, but I'm thinking if I do it, I'm actually gonna head up there right now. But if I did it on like on a lower part of the cliff, maybe I could probably use the ground and like make support beams or something. But one thing that I do have a surplus of is wood, so it's definitely gonna be made out of wood, and probably like cobblestone walls. I might get some glass in there eventually, but see, this looks like a really good spot to have a house. I feel like I could really have it like stand out. Maybe I could have it like rest on that column right there with that snow on it. Have it just rest there and have some support beams coming down and resting on this part right here. I could even make it like a like where the house is kind of like a futuristic kind of house. It's not going to be the prettiest thing just because I have limited resources, and also I'm not the best artist to ever play the game. So it'll probably be, it'll probably be like an intermediate player house. I feel like I could really use this cobblestone a lot, though. Because inside it's not a ton of building, which means I don't need to use a ton of materials. Well, look at this. This is actually pretty useful. So it's a lot of it's more digging than it really is anything else. So I don't have to use a lot of materials. I can just pretty much use what I have for the outside, the part that I'll actually be showing on the cliff face. Oh man, I was close. So I could just use some of the stuff that I would be showing on the cliff face as like oh, that's why. So yeah, it doesn't take too much materials. It would take a long time to dig out the inside though, but I do feel like making the house like a long-term project where I could be adding stuff to it all the time. Like I'm definitely planning on making like a mumbo jumbo style what is it called, mumbo jumbo style storage system. If you haven't been able to tell already, I am a big fan of Mumbo Jumbo, and I do use a lot of his farms and redstone videos to help me out in my own worlds a lot. But yeah, I feel like this house should really be like something that's like kind of special. I actually, now that I look, I might want to put it in this crevice too. I feel like that'd be a real cool idea. And because of that staircase that I was just kind of going up, I feel like we could have like a little parkour staircase up to it. I mean, it could be easy parkour, but I'm just saying it'd be like a cool staircase to have up to here, and then like bam, you're in the house. But yeah, so I have a lot of things to think about for this house. But now that seeing how much time I have left in this episode, I'm probably going to make that house more next episode. Oh, look at that, we already have a pumpkin. That's good. So it's looking like a more next episode kind of thing. But yeah, I mean, I'll definitely, so what I have to do now is, this is pretty much going to be the end of the episode. I think for now I'm just going to go out and get a ton of wood, and, just save up for, this house, because it's definitely going to be made of mainly wood and mainly, stone, so I'm going to do a lot of mining. I'm also going to try to get some iron, and for some tools, and also maybe try to get some armor, but I'll show you all that stuff in the next episode. But yeah, this should pretty much be the end, and I'm gonna get to work, but I'll see you next time.